Welcome to Wicked Manny. Today we're going to be doing some torn paper nails. So these nails might look a little bit complicated, but they're really not. I promise you this is really easy. There's only a few things that you need for these nails. You're going to need a makeup sponge like you normally use for gradients. You're definitely going to need liquid latex, and then you're going to need acetone. And then other than that, all you need is the stamping plate and the colors that I used or ones that are similar, and then a really small paintbrush if you want to make the dark line around the edges like I did. So let's get started. The first thing that you're going to do is take your liquid latex and you're going to paint it around your fingers and then directly onto your nail. Now, the reason that we're doing this is so that we can create the hard edge that's going to look like the torn paper. So you really want to make sure that the liquid latex doesn't look straight. It needs to be uneven. It needs to look like it's a piece of torn paper. So whether you need to do that with a makeup brush or a toothpick, whatever it is that you feel comfortable doing to make that edge for yourself, you do that. So you'll see me painting this on here, and I'm making sure that it has a really jagged, uneven edge so that it really looks like it's torn. Then I'm going to get out my makeup sponge, and the colors that I have here are a light yellow, a light brown, and then a darker brown. So this is going to give the nails that look of old paper. It also kind of looks a little bit like it's burned to me, which turned out great in my opinion. So you're going to just sponge this on like you normally would for any other gradient. You might need to do it a few times depending on how light your colors are, or if they're very pastel. Just be prepared to do it a few times, and don't worry if you think it's too dark. You can also just sponge on a little more yellow at the bottom if you want to lighten it back up a little bit. I'm just going to go over this twice with the colors, just sponging them on both times. Don't worry if you get it on top of the liquid latex. That's exactly what the latex is here for. You want to make sure that the colors are opaque and that they're blended well and that they go right up to the edge of the liquid latex, or even over if you can. Now, don't peel off your liquid latex yet. What you're going to do next is get out your stamping plate, or you can actually do this part with a Sharpie or with a really small pen if you want to just make it look like there's type from a book on top of where you did the gradient. You don't have to have the stamping plate or any stamping plate at all if you don't like stamping. You can do this part by hand. Now, once your letters are on there and your gradients there, you're just going to peel that liquid latex off. And do you see how jagged that edge looks? That's exactly what you want. And I'd recommend really varying them by nail. I tried to make sure that mine were not even and didn't look exactly like on each nail. Next, I'm going to take a little bit of brown polish, the darkest brown that I already used, mixed with a little bit of black to darken it up. And I'm going to take a small paintbrush and go around the edge here just to darken it a little more. If you're not comfortable with painting by hand, or you don't think your hand is steady enough, do this while the liquid latex is still on your nail, and then you won't have to worry about it getting on top of the yellow or muddying up the line too much. The liquid latex will help keep your line very crisp. Now I'm just dotting this polish around the edge just to kind of blend it a little bit and make it darker, just to add a little more depth to it. Next, I'm going to take the medium brown color that we used for the gradient. I'm going to dip it in a little bit of the acetone, and I'm going to dot it on to the yellow with the small paintbrush to make it look like a coffee stain. And then I'm going to go over a little bit more with the darker brown, and then dip a little more acetone onto it just to blend it all in together. After I'm happy with my coffee stain, I'm just going to take some brown polish and I'm just going to make some small dots around the edges just to make it not completely yellow all over my nail. And that's it for today, guys. I really hoped you liked these nails. They look super complicated, but they're really easy to do. If you liked this Manny, please comment below and like this video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.